Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the St. Mark's Kids Chat. This week in Sunday school, you guys are going to be learning about a man named Nehemiah. And it comes for us from the book of Nehemiah. It's chapter 1 and 2, all the way to verse 9 in chapter 2. So in this story, Nehemiah actually seeks God's forgiveness for Israel. So one day, Nehemiah, his brother, came to visit him. And Nehemiah's brother had not so great news about Jerusalem. So guess what happened? So Jerusalem was in ruins again. So the wall was broken down and the gates were burned. And this was actually 70 years after it was rebuilt. Remember how they had come back? Mm-hmm. The Jews had rebuilt the temple. And it was 12 years after Ezra had actually rebuilt the walls as well. So let me ask you something. How would you guys feel if I took one of your like little Lego creations, something that you took a long time for you to build up, and then what would happen if we just, took it all apart? How would you feel? Annoyed, pretty sad, right? Like it took you a really long time to build that, right? Kind of just in mourning of, oh man, I can't believe that's, all being torn down again. But it wasn't just the building that he was sad about. It was actually the people also in Jerusalem who were actually the Israelites who were sinning against God. So he was just mourning and feeling super sad. The first thing he did was he actually prayed. So he went and he prayed to God, and he actually asked for forgiveness for not only himself but all of the Israelites. He said, please forgive the Israelites, please forgive myself, please forgive my father's family, because we've all acted so wicked, right? He knew that they were being punished for this. And so he also asked for help from God too in his prayers. He went and he asked for help when he went and spoke with the king. And guess what happened? He went and spoke with the king, and the king said, "Why are you so sad? What's going on?" He could tell that he was visibly upset about what was going on. And what he said was, he says, "Well, Jerusalem is in ruins. This is my ancestors' cities. All of my ancestors are buried here." And he was really sad. And the king said, "Well, what can I do? What do you want?" And Nehemiah said to him, "Well, can you help me rebuild it? Can you help send me over there so that I can help rebuild it?" And guess what happened?
He helped.
The king helped him, yeah. And not only that, he actually sent an entire cavalry. You know what a cavalry is?
Like an army or
Yeah,
something?
kind of like that. Just like, it's like a group of people that are military to go and keep him protected while he was going. So Nehemiah prayed, right? That was his first line of defense. Could he have just gone to the king first? Could he have gone to the king first instead of praying to God first?
No.
Yeah, well, he could have. Yeah, he could have. He could have gone there to the king and said, "Help fix all this," But the first thing he did was ask for God's help, not only for the forgiveness of all the people who were sinning, but also to be able to go back and restore the city. That was really important.
Because God is first before anybody.
That's right. You always go to God first before anybody. That's right. So let's talk about that for a minute. So Nehemiah prayed and asked for restoration for the Israelites, and then God answered him in the way of being able to help him go back to the city and rebuild it. So let me ask you, how do you seek forgiveness for the sins and the things that you do?
Pray.
You pray, right? And we ask for forgiveness. So let's do a little demonstration about that, okay? So come on down here for just a minute. And I have a couple of different things on here. I have a cup that we are going to fill with a little bit of vinegar. You can come stand over here, Maxie, so people can see you. Okay, so we're going to fill it with a little bit of vinegar, and we're going to take a little bit of salt. And Sawyer, can you put that inside of here?
The salt?
Yeah, put the salt inside of the cup and stir it around. Thank you.
Smells kind of strange.
Yeah, that's what vinegar smells like. Okay, so now I'm going to take this penny. Does that penny look clean to you?
Yeah, pretty clean.
Well, it looks kind of dirty, actually. So it's kind of, compared to like some other ones, like, well, let's see if I have a clean one around here. Compared to like this, does it look pretty dirty?
Yes.
Can everybody at home see that compared to this one, right? So what I'm going to do is we're going to pretend that this penny is covered in sin, okay? This dirty, yucky penny, okay? And we're going to put it inside of this little mixture that has the vinegar and the water in it, okay? We're going to close it up and we're going to shake it up a little bit. Max, will you give that a little bit of a shake? Just keep shaking it for a couple minutes, okay? So the vinegar and the salt are going to represent Jesus and his amazing eternal forgiveness for our sins. So let's give it a little bit more of a shake and see kind of what happens.
I'm gonna shake it a bit.
Yeah, you shake it a little bit, Mac, or Sawyer, and see what happens, okay? Give it a good shake. Let's take a look. All right, so let me take a look at it and see how we're doing on here. All right, so I'm gonna take this out. I'm gonna do it over the sink over here so that we don't spill anything. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rinse it off with a little water to get the vinegar off of it. Now, take a look at this penny. Look at how shiny and clean it looks now compared, I'll hold it up to everybody else at home. Can you see the difference between a dirty penny?
Mud.
Yeah, and this clean penny? Because what does
God
Jesus
is clean.
Yeah, well, what does Jesus do for our sin? Remember the sin,
God
all the
cleans
yucky?
our sin.
Yes, he washes away our sin. So I want you to remember that you can always pray to God.
If
no
one knows God, you're a black penny.
Yeah, and if you do know God, right, then you're a what? You're this kind of penny, right? And that's shiny and clean, right? Because that's how God sees us now, that Jesus has washed away our sin. So I want you to keep that in mind. I want you to tell people about Jesus because amazingly, he is able to wash away our sin. Alrighty, everybody, have a good day. Bye-bye.